How to push your friends away by saying unnecessary things. So today I want to discuss a topic that everyone wants to know more about. It's about communicating effectively with friends, with lovers, with clients, anyone, to make sure that you are talking the way that everyone, and especially your target, feels meaningful. So let me begin by defining the kind of conversation that I believe to be the most optimal and the kind that is most detrimental. So let's start by using some real life cases. So I had a experience in an event. There is a stranger, a woman who comes to me and talk about wanting to take a photo, and because my team is here taking photo for the event, I agreed. The woman took the photo. She's really happy. She talks about her day, and I did some observations, which allows us to engage further. And then we exchanged cards, and she asked us to give them the photos back when we are ready. So after the event, I realized that this woman, for some coincidence, is actually the same boss in my other job. And because of this, I really believe the situation to be quite faithful. And I tried to deliver the photos first, send them to her account. And aside from just searching for her photos, I also searched for her friends that we took in the event. And I told her that I hope you have a nice day and I hope we capture your smile. So in this experience, I want to showcase what I believe to be the good points that I've learned from the experience in terms of communication. So first of all, what kind of observation you're trying to make? I think so many people are trying to just compliment or just trying to generalize. For example, you're just saying that, hey, you look pretty today, or hey, nice weather today. And these two conversation openers are not very effective because complimenting without detail is just surface level. I want you to, for example, try and say that instead of, hey, you look beautiful today, try to say that, hey, I noticed that your eyes are really beautiful. I realized that the gaze and the way you look at people is warm and it gives me a safety feeling. Or for example, hey, you have a beautiful outfit today. I really like the way you use tone on tone to match your outfits in blue and green. And I think it really brings out that feeling of professionalism and casualness together because of the blue and green. So by having a better form in complimenting, you are able to engage. And at points, try to tease, but teasing to me is not really useful at the first opener because it is quite risky. But if you want to establish yourself to be more playful, then go ahead. And I think, on the other hand, trying to compliment is just a starter. Once you get to provoke the interest of the other party, you want to start conversing in a way that is not invasive. So what do I mean by invasive? So many people try to make conversations as if they are interrogating the other party. What were you doing 1 hour ago? What breakfast did you eat? Or for example, what are you going to do in the next 5 minutes? So these questions sounds like you want to know them more, but it forces them to remember, forces them to reply in a way that is accurate, and it creates pressure to the other party. So you don't want to make them feel uncomfortable because they are not, committing crimes. They're just trying to talk to you. So instead, just try to, play the field evenly. So how do you progress a conversation? Is by asking questions that you actually find interested in, framing the perspective in the way that you usually like to see the world. So let's use the events, for example. The other party just asked that, hey, so what do you guys do? I say that, hey, I'm working for a client. We are a production house. We also do social media. But it's less about just doing a job. To us, it's more about thinking an idea, a strategy to kind of look into the other person's world and to see what they're thinking. So I think this is a very interesting way that we see the world, and we really like to have this influence to others. So that piques the interest of the other party. They want to know not just what you're doing, but why you're doing it. So use this as the same thing. So, hey, I noticed that you are here today for the competition, for the running stuff. So why did you start running? And I also like to run when I was younger, but I stopped midway. But I really like to train. So this way you are sharing an interest instead of just exploring one. And you are trying to use a little bit more of why instead of what or how. So the last part of unnecessary clutter in a conversation is very important. It's really more about not just invasive, but by following up. So using this client as an example, I only sent her a message once. I sent her the photo links and I told her I hope we have the photos to capture your smile. Do not try to pressure the clients if they doesn't respond quick enough. And this applies for all your relationships, all your friendships. Like for example, you're trying to say hello and then they did not respond in 1 hour, and then you try to ask again and even try to take phone calls, ask many questions. This is the primary way to make your friends afraid and goes away, because not every conversation needs to happen instantaneously. In fact, I just want to say, like, many conversations in social media wait for hours on end. That doesn't mean the person doesn't value your time. It just means that they have their own agenda, their own priorities, and they don't want to talk to you at this moment, but they will later, or maybe they don't. In that case, just walk away and just give time, be patient, wait for the other party to respond the time when they want to, at the moments where they are most comfortable. That way you are able to converse meaningfully.